Hello everyone, and we are back. Welcome to CredR, and with me today I have the Honda CB200X. इस मोटरसाइकिल की कीमत शुरू होती है from rupees 1,44,500 and this bike is based on the Honda Hornet 2.0. In Honda's terminology, this is their urban explorer motorcycle. Honda is not calling this an adventure tourer. चलिए इस वीडियो में देख लेते हैं what are the features that you get with this bike. How different is it compared to the Hornet 2.0? Is it comfortable for your urban commutes? Is the performance good enough as per 2021 standards? And let's also talk about if this bike is going to be capable to keep you happy on your weekend rides. Before we start talking about the features, first listen to the exhaust note of this single cylinder motorcycle. Now let's talk about the styling and design highlights of this CB200X.
Although this CB200X is based on the Hornet 2.0, it is quite a good looking motorcycle and it is a different looking motorcycle. Honda के showrooms में ये motorcycle आपको ज़रूर premium लगने वाली है. When you are going to spend more than 1,50,000 on road, it will try to justify the price tag with the size that it is going to offer to you. When you compare this bike to the Hornet 2.0, of course, the mechanical bits are shared, but the bodywork is very different. सबसे पहले तो you are getting a semi-fairing at the front end and it just dominates the overall design of this CB200X. The fairing is very well integrated and it does offer you that typical adventure tourer styling. This bike tries to mimic the styling the Honda CB500X is bringing to the Indian market. सामने आपको एक फुल LED हेडलैम्प मिल जाता है. Above the headlamp you have a black finished small front windscreen. This is not adjustable by the way. आपको इस मोटरसाइकिल के साथ knuckle guards भी दिए गए हैं which get integrated LED turn indicators and I really like this integration. It looks nice and it looks premium as well. The front mudguard is body colored and with this motorcycle you are also getting gold finished upside down front forks. साइड फेयरिंग पे आपको काफ़ी सारे decals दिखाई देंगे. You have the 200X branding on the fuel tank and you also have the Honda wing logo on the radiator shrouds. But you have to keep in mind there is no radiator with this motorcycle because this CB200X makes use of an air-cooled engine. There is no liquid cooling technology with this bike. Overall, fairing integration is spot on. Everything is typical of Honda's quality, so you will have very few concerns in terms of the fit and finish. With this motorcycle, you are getting a swaged handlebar, which means that the handlebar is thicker in the center and it tapers off towards the end. हैंडलबार पे जो आपको स्विच गियर मिल रहा है उसकी क्वालिटी भी काफ़ी अच्छी है एंड यू ऑल्सो हैव अ हजार्ड लैम्प स्विच विद दिस CB200X. टॉकिंग अबाउट द फीचर्स, इस मोटरसाइकिल के साथ आपको एक फुल डिजिटल स्पीडोमीटर क्लस्टर दिया गया है. यू हैव अ डिजिटल टैकोमीटर, यू हैव अ डिजिटल स्पीड रीड आउट, you have a digital fuel gauge, you have the gear position indicator, you have trip computers. But on the speedometer cluster you are not getting information such as your distance to empty and your fuel efficiency when you are riding this bike. There is no eco indicator as well, so that is a missing feature on this bike. इस मोटरसाइकिल के साथ आपको काफ़ी जगहों पे textured plastic panels नज़र आएंगे. They try their bit to make the bike look premium. साइड पैनल पे आपको CB200X की ब्रांडिंग नज़र आएगी. The rear panel also gets the body color and on this motorcycle you get an X-shaped LED tail lamp. This bike by the way gets full LED lighting, तो turn indicators जो हैं वो भी full LED type के हैं. This bike makes use of 17-inch alloy wheels at the front and at the back, so this again highlights that this is a road-focused motorcycle. But for those who would still like to wander, you are getting knobby pattern tires with this bike, which will help you ride this bike over mild trails. But be careful, don't ride this bike in slushy situation, otherwise you are definitely going to get stuck. This motorcycle also gets a nicely integrated sari guard. The exhaust is not too large and it gets a dark treatment. Overall engine area में भी आपको dark theme नजर आएगी, so everything is blacked out. And you also have an engine underbelly cowl which by the way is made out of plastic. So this is not going to offer you any kind of protection if you are going to take the beaten road to reach home or anywhere in the country. The split seat setup of this CB200X has been reworked compared to the Hornet 2.0. सीट पैडिंग अलग है जिसके वजह से सैडल हाइट जो है वो थोड़ी बढ़ चुकी है, but nevertheless with 810 mm of seat height, this motorcycle is very accessible. Everything else is pretty much standard. You get a split grab rail for the pillion, you are getting pedal disc brakes at the front and at the back, you are getting a box type swing arm, and on the front end you also get a reflector next to the front forks for lateral visibility.
Now, thanks to platform sharing, the CB200X shares the engine and gearbox with the Hornet 2.0. So, let's talk about the performance.
Powering the Honda CB200X is a 184.4cc 4-stroke single-cylinder BS6 compliant air-cooled engine. This engine produces 12.7 kilowatts of power at 8500 rpm and 16.1 Newton meters of torque at 6000 rpm. इस मोटरसाइकिल के साथ आपको एक 5-speed gearbox मिल जाता है. There is no slipper assist clutch, and like I mentioned before, this bike doesn't get any oil cooling or liquid cooling. Honda has not made any changes to the throttle maps, to the fueling, to the power and torque output, or to the gear ratios. Everything in the engine and gearbox department of this CB200X is identical to the Hornet 2.0. Now the biggest highlight of this motorcycle is that although it looks like an adventure tourer, Honda is positioning it as an urban explorer. This bike's engine is very laid back and it is an easy-going commuter motorcycle. Now things have changed a lot in the past decade. Anything over 150cc, previously we thought that it was sporty and performance oriented. But now this kind of an engine capacity, this kind of power output is considered to be very tame and very easy to manage. ये Honda की CB200X जो है, it offers you a very smooth ride. This bike can be easily ridden to office. आप दिन भर इस बाइक पे काफ़ी आसानी से कम्यूट कर सकते हो, and at city speeds this bike is effortless. The engine is very tractable, तो आप हायर गियर पे लोअर स्पीड पे ये मोटरसाइकिल काफ़ी आसानी से चला पाओगे, and you will have no complaints in terms of refinement and the smoothness that this bike can offer to you. Switch to the highway and this Honda CB200X is going to be happy close to 80 to 90 kilometers per hour. Anything beyond 95 kmph, the engine starts feeling a little stressed. जब आप ज़्यादा रेव करते हो इस मोटर को, you will feel a mild buzz, but the vibrations are still not something that will make or break the deal. So this bike is not really performance oriented. You can reach a top speed of over 120 kilometers per hour, but that is going to need a really long stretch of road, and that speed build up also depends on the rider weight, so that is also something that you have to keep in mind. So if you are planning to buy this Honda CB200X, keep in mind that this can do your daily commuting duties effortlessly, and it will also be an effortless weekend touring machine. But if you want something more performance oriented, you will have to look somewhere else. Talking about the gearbox, it is very easy to use, slick shifting gearbox unit, and the clutch is light as well. तो सिटी में बम्पर टू बम्पर ट्रैफिक में ये मोटरसाइकिल चलाते समय आपको कोई भी दिक्कत नहीं होने वाली है. My only wish was that since this motorcycle looks a lot touring friendly, Honda should have offered a 6th gear which would have just improved this motorcycle's high speed long distance touring ability. The knobby pattern tires of this motorcycle offer you very good grip. When we were shooting this video, it was raining heavily and I had no problems in terms of road grip. The braking performance is adequate, but you are only getting a single channel ABS setup with this CB200X. At this price, Honda should have offered a dual channel ABS setup with switchable ABS to turn it off on the rear wheel. Braking setup जो है, it is quite predictable. You have a pedal disc brake at the front and at the back. Although the braking hardware is acceptable, the braking bite and stopping power could have been slightly more sharper. So when Honda is calling this motorcycle an urban explorer, the engine and gearbox combination justifies that.
The next point which I want to talk about is ride and handling. This Honda CB200X is claiming to be more comfortable than the Hornet 2.0. But is that really true? Let's check it out.
Talking about the ride and handling of this motorcycle, you are getting 810 mm of seat height. The curb weight of this motorcycle is 147 kgs and you are getting 167 mm of ground clearance. इस बाइक के सस्पेंशन सेटअप के साथ आपको कोई भी चेंज नज़र नहीं आने वाला है, कोई भी चेंज फील नहीं होने वाला है इफ़ यू हैव रिडन द Hornet 2.0. You do get preload adjustment with the rear monoshock, but the front forks are not adjustable. 12 liters of fuel tank capacity, 147 kg of curb weight, so this motorcycle is very easy to manage. अगर ये आपकी पहली बाइक होने वाली है, you will not at all find this bike heavy. सिटी में आप काफ़ी आसानी से zip through कर पाओगे and the motorcycle is easy to understand as well. Just within a few hours of ownership, you will be able to ride this bike at its maximum potential. The ride and handling of this motorcycle is quite neutral, but the suspension setup is slightly towards the firmer side. Now, this will result in good handling when you are out on the highway. You will get a nice and flat ride, जिसके वजह से आप ट्विस्टी रोड्स पे भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा स्पीड कैरी कर पाओगे और इस बाइक को कॉन्फिडेंटली राइड कर पाओगे. बट इनसाइड द सिटी मे बी यू विल फाइंड दैट this motorcycle could have been a little softly sprung to offer you better comfort. But what is going to keep you very happy on the saddle is the rider's triangle. ये मोटरसाइकिल आपको एक upright riding stance offer कर रही है. The handlebars are fit on really tall risers, because of which you are nice and upright compared to the Hornet 2.0. You are not at all leaning forward. Seats are also very supportive और आपको यहाँ पे काफ़ी room मिल जाता है to move around. The foot pegs are also very mildly rear set. मेरी height है 5 feet 8 inches and I was completely at peace with this riding position. Because of this very comfortable riding posture, you can ride this motorcycle for hours and you will not feel tired. Even inside the city limits, this riding posture will keep you comfortable. So अगर आप ये मोटरसाइकिल डेली ऑफिस कम्यूट्स के लिए इस्तेमाल करने वाले हो, if you are riding for more than an hour, you will not be tired when you reach your office or when you come back home. Another point to make note of is that the front windscreen is of the non-adjustable type, so it is not going to prevent you from wind blast if you are going to ride say over 80 to 90 kilometers per hour for a really long time.
So that's pretty much it. That's everything that you need to know about this Honda CB200X if at all you are planning to spend your hard-earned money and bring this motorcycle home. If you have any other queries, do ask us and we will be happy to help you out. Till next time, subscribe to the CredR channel, press that bell icon if you haven't till now, stay notified and let us know what is your opinion about this brand new Honda CB200X. This is the first time that the CB200X nameplate has arrived here in the Indian market. So, is this good enough or not? That is up to you and I will see you soon in another video.